I promise this will set you apart from most professionals. The third bit of advice, the third tip my mentor would advise us is keep your advice simple. Problems are often pretty complex, which is good, because you'll be paid more to solve complicated problems. But you need to be able to explain complex, complicated situations simply. Complex explanations of complex problems are typically useless to those we are trying to help. Moreover, if you can't explain a problem or a solution relatively simply, you probably don't understand it yourself. As you get better at this field or any field, you become better at understanding and explaining complicated phenomena simply, so others can grasp the fundamentals of a situation and a solution. So remember, in terms of your professional work, understand the objective that you're striving for always. Be useful and keep it simple. So mindful of my mentor's advice, as an advice giver now, I will try to simply explain some useful advice that I hope addresses your interests. Recognize that I didn't have a chance to listen deeply to understand your goals before designing this talk. My topic is, as Deepan explained, and Deepan, thank you very much for your kind introduction, what leads to long-term success, both for companies and for people. My assumption is that this topic is interesting to many of you. Many of you will work for family-owned companies, start family-owned companies, or work in your own family's companies. And of course, we're all people interested in leading a successful life. So, here goes. And I should add, an understandable and strong interest of most graduates is to get quickly through the commencement speech so they can receive their diplomas and celebrate. So I'll try to be direct and brief with the remainder of my comments. Now, it would be natural for you to assume that I'm giving you an American view of success. Actually, my perspective on this topic isn't particularly American. My thinking on long-term success comes from 30 years of studying and working all over the world with businesses, business leaders, and enterprising families like Dr. Thangavelu's. I've worked in many industries and in over 60 countries, including this one. That's a lot of countries. And I've found that businesses and families and people don't vary much in their basic nature. What drives business and family and personal success in one country or culture mostly translates to other countries and cultures. As you explore the world, I predict that you'll see the same thing. So we have a lot to learn, and we can learn from one another. The big lesson I want to communicate is that long-term success is created mostly by uncommon habits, things that take real discipline to do on a regular basis, and requires sacrificing some things in life to maintain this discipline. After all, if long-term success were easy, more people and families and companies would achieve it. But you, your family, and your company can achieve it. And I will tell you how, with one exception: luck. Luck clearly influences long-term success. And I really wish today that I could tell you how to be lucky. If I could, I would fill stadiums of people wanting to learn my lessons. So I can't do that, but I can tell you the following. People generally highly value success that lasts for a long time. Success at anything doesn't need to last a long time, and generally it doesn't, which may be partly why we value it and are intrigued by it. Success for a short time is probably better than no success. For example, movie stars, I have learned, usually have short-term success if they become successful at all. I did a thorough research study on this topic yesterday in the Delhi airport, reading, I think, the Delhi Times. Politicians who rise in popularity also generally fall in popularity, which is undoubtedly a good thing. Businesses also tend not to last very long. Most businesses have a particularly short life. In the US, half of all businesses that are started fail within 5 years. Only 15% live 25 years, and only about 5% survive for 2 generations, 3% for 3. We don't have good statistics on business survival in India, but I would guess it's a little better here, but not much. Clearly, not all businesses are meant to succeed for a long time, especially today. And the demise of a business isn't always bad. Often when businesses fail, they're replaced by other more vibrant organizations, a la the life cycle of creative destruction observed by Joseph Schumpeter. But the premature death of a company can be very costly. Jobs are lost, communities are disrupted, lives are disadvantaged, and forward progress can be interrupted.